Good morning, welcome back to casa.texpina. We're on build day number 206. We got about half the crew here. With the typhoon that went through, there was lots of uprooted trees throughout our subdivision. We are still without power. Along with being without power means we're also without water because the two wells and water tanks that we have here in the subdivision are strictly here just in the subdivision and run obviously off of power. So when the power goes out, the water goes out, the tanks have been dried, have been drained, and we're waiting for that to come back in. Let's go ahead and walk around the house real quick and show you what's going on the inside. So let's get started. Coming down the street here, got a couple of our painters here. No power required for sanding, so they are working on sanding and filling the fence grills for the second coat, just to make sure that it's smooth and ready for paint. Tree's still down. They're working on the contacting the subdivision developer to formulate a plan, find out what's going to happen with those. Should be getting taken care of this week. Okay, so we're continuing with sanding and cutting and prepping the boards. Again, like I said, everything's going to be manual today, so do a little bit of painting here in the dirty kitchen, putting on the first coat of paint. This is Mr. Stanley. Here in the main living room, we're putting masilyas on the wood for the cove ceiling, and Mr. Marlin, our foreman, is out here putting grout into the crevices for in the joints of the tiles here on the back patio. Go ahead and get those filled up. Let's go ahead and take a look back here in the master's bedroom. We're continuing to put on baseboards. Those can be cut manually. So putting masilyas and all the way around the ceiling here for the cove ceiling. This is Mr. Joe. That's what they're working on today. And Mr. Jojo is continuing to work the square tiles. Anything that doesn't require cutting is what he's going to be working on today. Looks like he may also be working on some of the wall tile. So we'll take a look and check in on him a little bit later. Let's go walk on the other side. So here Mr. Purdy, one of our other carpenters, is also working baseboards. And in the powder room, Mr. Willie and Mr. Jason are working the floor tiles. Again, anything that doesn't require cutting. They do have a tile cutter, the diamond cutter, which is great for the straight cuts. So that's what they're going to be working on with that. Okay, all right, we got our windows have arrived. Lots and lots, the whole package. So we're gonna see what these guys can work on and do without having power. They might be able to just deliver today, or may reschedule to come back. We'll take a moment and come back. So the latest news we heard was that we should have power back by lunch, maybe. So in the interim, the window installers are going to start unloading the truck and putting pieces in place, see how far we can get without power, and then we'll go from there. got all the doors, all the windows unloaded into the office area. So they're doing inventory again, make sure they got them all off the truck. And just checking. So yes, our window installers did come by. They just dropped off all the supplies. Since currently we do not have power yet, it is expected to be back on around or shortly after lunch. So they'll come back and work on this once we tell them we have power, which most likely will be, they'll be back tomorrow. As far as thickness of the glass, folks, people may be asking, this is 6 millimeter glass, dark tint with the white windows. Oh, sorry, the white window frames. Does have weather stripping already in some of the windows. So we'll go back through and take a look at these as they get closer and start doing the actual installs. We did take a moment to use a couple pieces of string and the neighbor's exposed rebar to right our guyabano tree up. So hopefully it'll hold for a little while and we can keep it like that long enough for the roots to take and try to save that tree. So we'll see what happens. All right, Mr. Gel's getting repositioned. So we've got half of the master's bedroom ceiling, put masilyas on it, or the gypsum putty to seal and help get it all smooth. So he's getting ready to get started on the other half, and that's what he'll be working on the rest of the morning. So this is how we cut tile with no power.
No power.
Use a diamond edge knife to score the top, and then come back at it with a pair of pliers. A little bit at a time. More than one way to skin a cat. All right, come back for lunch. Looky there, we got power. We got power. So that means our guys can get back to work, not have to do manual method on everything. They know how to work without having the power, but it's nice when they do. All right, Mr. Willie's almost done. He says, I don't need light for the last two pieces. So we're continuing with the tile here in the powder room. All right, and Mr. Alex is going to continue putting in the backboards here for the bedroom number 2's cove ceiling. So he's going to start working his way around now that he has power to be able to do that. All right, so while we had no power for a little while, Mr. Jojo has put in a couple more tiles here in the master bath area. Looks like he's still working on a couple more. Man, I tell you, some of my guys are really fast. This is Mr. Gel is finished with the masilyas on the cove ceiling for the master bedroom. So next step on this is going to be prime coat at some point. So that'll be coming soon. And taking a look inside the master bath, Mr. Jojo is continuing with the floor tiles because they've got the size measured out now for where the bathtub is going to go. So they come out, measure the bathtub, went back, make sure it fits in the right spot, and then they're continuing with the tiles around it. So we're going to get all that put in probably starting next week. Just a guess. I've been known to have been wrong on that before, so we will have to wait and see. Still continuing with the baseboard all the way around and masilyas. Let's take a look at that powder room. I believe it's been completed already. Nope, still working on it. Last tile. Look at that, the last tile. All right, our subdivision is on the ball. So the guys are making their rounds with the chainsaws and starting to clear out some of the downed mango trees. That's amazing. Very, very happy. This is awesome. Great job, Buena Vista. Oh, brother-in-law Al is back with more supplies. More tiles. Those are interesting. Some more gypsum putty. Some more door casings. And more tiles. Again, more tiles. All right, the floor tile is all done for the powder room. We'll let this all dry up, and then they're going to grout it and be done. All right, let's take a walk through and show where everybody's at this afternoon. We got our two painters out here on the front, Mr. Ricky and Mr. Wilson, and they're continuing with the second round of fill and sand. So they're getting it prepped for paint, so that when we get ready, they're going to start painting it to look like this side. So you see they've already started doing a little bit of sanding out here as well, getting it ready for the final coat of paint. Okay, let's go ahead and run inside the house and get ready for tiles here, possibly as early tomorrow or Monday, one of the two. Mr. Ferdy and Mr. Francis are doing baseboards, have been doing baseboards all day, working their way through. So you can see he's made his way around here today. Mr. Francis started over here and worked his way around this direction today. All right, let's see what's going on with Mr. Jojo. Yeah. I think Mr. Jojo found a stopping point. And here in the master closet, Mr. Gel is going back over some of the sand and masilyas that was done prior to the typhoon rolling through. So getting it all sanded back down and give it another coat prior to starting to paint. Okay, and coming on back to the bedroom number 2, Mr. Alex has finished with the backboard for the coat ceiling. We will be putting on the cornice work possibly tomorrow. So y'all come back now. You hear? And he's getting set up in here, starting to do the same thing. So backing board for cornice at a later point. And Mr. Stanley here is putting on some masilyas on our entryway into the kitchen. Everybody do a big happy birthday, Mr. Stanley. Today's his birthday. Very young, 80, very young. And the foreman moved our sink over, so it is now lined up with the side of the cabinetry. No more banging your head on the cabinet. And it's still in line with the edge of our cabinetry here where our dishwasher is going to slide in. Okay, so that's where that's going to go. This is going to work. They're going to come back and fill this back in with concrete cement before they put on the granite. Okay, and I'm starting to do a little cleanup out here for the end of the day. Mr. Henry has been sanding all day on the main front door. He tells me tomorrow we're doing sealant. So sealant and more sanding. So that's where everybody's at today. And out here along the highway, along the road, we now have a passable way through the street. The subdivision maintenance crew came by and cut down the rest of the large mango tree that was here, and they're currently working on the one a little bit further down on the other side of the White House here on the right. All right, busy day, getting back in order, getting back to work. All right, it's end of the day. Boss is called game, we're done, put your tools away. So that's wrapping up the first day back at work post typhoon. Got things cleaned up first thing this morning. They worked what they could this morning without the power, and over lunch, good job by those getting things coordinated to get the power back on quickly today. So we're back in business this afternoon, and we should have the ceiling installers, the ones for the spandrel ceiling up here around the eaves. The granite guy should be back tomorrow, and the window installer should be back tomorrow. So things to look forward to for Saturday and build day number 207. So if y'all like today's video, please give us a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more of these videos, hit the casa.texpina star right over here, and you'll be subscribed. Hit the bell icon just below the view screen. You'll be notified of our next video upload for your viewing pleasure. So until we see you again tomorrow, have a great afternoon, and God bless.